உங்களுக்கு இன்வைட் பண்ணிட்டு போவோம். வெல்கம் பண்ணிட்டு வெல்கம் ஃபார் செஷன் okay. Praveen sir.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Audible, sir. Everything is good, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Start.
Good afternoon, and I welcome you all to the Day 1 Session 3. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Praveen Kumar Subramanian, Assistant Professor, Senior Grade, Department of Mechatronics Engineering, Kongu Engineering College. His area of specialization includes engineering design, theory of machines, design of machine elements, economics and management for engineering, design thinking and innovation. He has published more than 5 international journals and 1 patent. He has guided 89 society-oriented projects. He's got 10 years of experience in teaching. He has received more than 10 awards for various responsibilities held at national and international level. He received fund for his innovation from Mitsubishi Factory Automation Components. He has done various consultancy work for his college and raised funds. He has also established many labs under Atal Tinkering Lab, Fab Lab under Nidhi Prayas scheme, and also established lab for his mechatronics department. We welcome you, sir, for this session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can we proceed to the session or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
You can start.
So at the outset, I would like to thank Sri Manakula Vinayagar Engineering College, Autonomous Institution and Department of Mechanical Engineering for inviting me for such an auspicious faculty development program organized by AACTE as a part of ATAL. So ATAL, AACTE training and learning. So teaching and learning maybe. So it's indeed a great pleasure in meeting you all. Mostly it is a post-lunch session. So we'll have some interactions and like things also. And again, maybe some points that I will be I need to like capitalize the faculty as in terms of like a self-financing institution. So I need to take up in that angle too. So here I move on with my presentation. I hope my presentation is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are getting it.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's clear and visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, as said, as introduced by ma'am, so I'm Praveen Kumar and I'm Assistant Professor Senior Grade in Department of Mechatronics Engineering. And like I have my schoolings and studies based in mechanical, but I'm more towards mechatronics in this current scenario anyway. So I'm a professor in Kongu Engineering College. So here I go with my design thinking and innovation, the topic, and again, what are the phases in design thinking? Why it is like, what is the need for it? So I move in. So it will start with what is an innovation? So is there any maybe some part like interactions would be more fine for me anyway. So what could be an innovation? Maybe innovation is like it is not a big thing to think of. It is just like an incremental change that would give some importance to the public or society, or it will be catering the needs of the people. So that is what an innovation is. So I go with this the picture, which in most cases it will be aiding me. Like it is a state of mind. It is raining at some point. A person who was like having an umbrella. Umbrella is not at all invented by us. maybe, but during that time I am feeling thirsty. There is rainwater throughout, but I could not have a pinch of water. So the thing is like a difference in using the umbrella so that it could be used for fetching up water. So it could be an starter for like rainwater harvesting and kind of thing. So this is where an innovation, and this is what an innovation is, just an incremental change. So when it will be a successful innovation then? So I need to talk about two things. One is like itching, another one is scratching. What is like these? These are the things. So it's been itching for me, so I need to scratch. So that is the basic phenomenon. So either I need to scratch my own itch, or I could have a solution for itching, because the same kind of problem will be occurring for multiple kind of people, right? So I could have a solution for it. This is what an innovation, this is where an innovation will be leading to. So finally, it should lead to cater the needs of people. It will be starting from the individual and it will be moving on to the next level too. So if we are talking about these things, then we need to have some success stories. So everywhere we will be talking about Mr. Jack Ma, Mark Zuckerberg. We'll be talking about like multiple personalities, Ratan Tata in India. So multiple personalities we will be talking about. Maybe there may be some role models, but I have got some inspirations anyway. So that's where I give it. Could you identify whom he could be? He may be a student of us. He had a passion of traveling all alone, all around the world, maybe all around India, actually. What is like while he was traveling, he couldn't find any better places to get accommodated. So in the same sense, multiple rooms were vacant, but they were not established in an exact manner. So what he thought? He had founded OU. In the morning session, Parthasarathi sir was rightly mentioning about augmented reality, where you could have gain these OU rooms on your mobile phones and these kind of things, right? So he was a dropout from an engineering college, maybe an institution, and he was the founder for OU, and this is where he started. He started his own thing to do, because he is a passionate in travel, so he need to do something. The same scenario was prevailing with other people too, so he started OU. Likewise, say a person who is near about to us, once in his time he was like he's a graduate from BITS Pilani, and he is working in an MNC at Bangalore. His native is Hyderabad. And once in a Diwali session, because like November 14th is Diwali, in the same scenario in 2005, while he was in a position to travel to his native, he couldn't find any buses or any mode of transport for traveling. So he, along with some of his people, some of his software engineers, founded Red Bus. Now the Red Bus is 600 million crores, and it is like it is even acquired by Go Ibibo right now. So innovation, it has started from the point where they need to be. So the same thing, it has moved on to the success other people. So here we talk about success story. And he is from Tamil Nadu, maybe near to my native, Erode. His father had a business, milk business. They were in a total loss at a point of time, so that he couldn't even complete his schoolings. But then he started a small innovation. Why can't we take why can't we take chances and convert this milk in some other form so that it will be more evident helpful for the persons that it will be using, that we can improvise our business too. So he is Mr. Sadish Kumar, founder of Milky Mist. Milky Mist is a famous paneer, what we say. So they have started, all these people, they were started from scratching their own, but it has moved a greater level. Now Milky Mist is exported to multiple nations. Again, Red Bus has its impact in total all over India. Likewise, Voyo rooms. Now, preferably, people will be talking about Voyo rooms. So they have been in different competitions again, but they stay. So this is what a success story. So the innovations have been starting from similar point. So here, ladies and gentlemen, for making such an innovation, such as some incremental changes, the main theme is design thinking. So multiple people think of design thinking as it is something to design. Nothing to design. It's just how you think. So most of us are like faculty members. We have multiple thoughts because it's been 7 months in lockdown. We would have like thoughts of like, why can't we make a startup? The first kind of people. A second kind of people like I am a faculty. I need to make some innovation projects. At least I need to get some help from I need to aid my students to get in that form. So it could be a second kind of people. Third one is like I need to do some innovations related to industrial needs. So I could do make some consultancy. So consultancy kind of things I need to make. So that is also people. Here we as a faculty, and moreover the faculty of self-financing colleges, we are more predominantly demanded for all these things. Likewise, final kind is like I need to make some chances. I need to publish some papers, either in a Scopus or SCA indexed papers. I need to. All these questions and all these ideas will be having answers at the end of my session. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, into the session. So first I like to talk about a professor like us, who had an intuition. Like once he was walking through a farm, he could see a coconut leaf, and that coconut leaf was wound. So that why can't we take a chance of converting this coconut leaf into a straw? Because this is the order of a day. The people and the government is making the people to say like say no to plastics. So why can't we? He is Professor Saji Varghese of and the thing is like maybe an inspiring thing is like he's professor from English. So innovation doesn't need doesn't need like higher end knowledge or higher end things. It's a starting thing where and how we are moving on. So here's Professor Saji Varghese from Department of English of IIC Bangalore. So here what he made is like coconut straws, and he started with 200 straws per day. Now it's moving on to 6,000 straws with 8 women working in 6 hours. He's traveling to all over Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. He's moving away and he is traveling. He's getting the aid from the agriculture people, farmers, and these leaves were thrown off, and these leaves are right now are made as a straw, and they are also exported. This obviously will be increasing our GDP. So just a local innovation which had made some global reach here. So does he stop here? No. So he is a sunbread straws. So here again, he started innovating some machineries for it. So these machineries were used for making these straws. Similar kind of machines. With these low-cost machines, low-cost automations for his own innovation. So this is where people we need to. So this is some of the success stories. Now, so whether innovation is really reliable or directly related to product? No, there is not nothing like a product. It is like, it can be a product, it can be a process. So I could say like these are the scenarios which we see in our Indian scenario, obviously. So what people will be doing is they will be littering on roads. Why they are littering on roads? So there is some, there may be some lack of motivation for making these litters into the trash bin. So there may be. So it was taken a chance by Mr. Ankit Agarwal and his team in Delhi with a simple concept of placing a bin at a locality, and that bin will be a part of corporate social responsibility. That this bin will be having a ad over it, and that ad is related to an industry, and that industry or that place will be taking care of that bin. So what is like, all the trashes will be motivated, all the people will be motivated in uh, 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 littering in the dustbin. So this is a concept where he had made us like, add my bin. It is just a simple innovation, right? It is not like he hasn't spent that much money for, he has made mainly to move to the places, move to the industries, and he had made the corporate to be responsible. So as a part of CSR activity, the industry will be taking care of it. What he will be doing, he will be collecting the trash dumps, and he will be segregating, and he will be maybe in a process of refurbishing and rescaling or reusing. So this is what a thing is. So this is how an innovation will be. So these innovations need our design thinking. Where? So this is what a design thinking process is. So we had like, we had from our own interest, we have moved in. But at most of the cases, our own interest won't be. There may be some different kind of things. So a design thinking process will be starting with empathize. Maybe the empathize is a attitude or a character of a design thing or of an innovator. It won't be a process as well, because it is an inherent property that a person should have. Normally we will be having a sympathy towards others, but it is an empathy that we feel that we are at that position and we are having it. So it starts with empathize. After empathizing, we need to define. So we have found out what are the problems and how these problems can be addressed. So that is what a define will be doing. With this define, we will be having a solution for it. So that is where an ideate will be doing. Until these things, we haven't touched about any technological part. We were just seeing the people, we are catering the needs of the people, we are in a position to cater the needs of the people, and we are addressing the people. So this is where what we are doing. Once we have completed this ideation process, it will be carried over to prototyping. So prototyping is not like a final product, it is the base. So it is the laboratory scenario where we are finalizing our product, how it will be. So this is a prototype. And from this prototype, we will be testing. So the testing will be moving on to two different scenarios. One is like at a laboratory scale, and another one is like intended scale. So this is what a design thinking process will be empowering. So once a successful design thinking process, then obviously the innovation will be a successful one. In terms of a faculty, it will be successful in terms for the student upgradation. It will be like moving on to a next level of startup. Finally, it will be like an entrepreneurial journey for cultivating the students. In the same scenario, these can be recorded. Either it could be a patented one, or it could be published in international journals. So where I'll be walking through. So first is like empathize. So once saying about empathize, she is from, so this is an empathy. So we need to again, we need to communicate our understanding to them for better understanding. Sorry. Sir, am I audible? I think there is some problem with me.
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir. You
Audible.
can proceed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, it says like internet connection is unstable, something like so. A bit loud. Okay. Anyway, so this is where an empathy will be looking. So next, if we are talking about empathize, how it will be in India, we could say like a million of premature babies were born every year. Yes, but there is no proper guidance. Many there is a casualty regarding the babies and also the women who are giving birth to the babies, the mothers who are giving birth to the babies. This is an empathetical situation which was addressed by Jan Chen. So from abroad, once she came to India, she saw all these things. She had a tie-up with a person, Mr. Ranpur. So both of them founded a scenario called Embrace Innovations, where the premature babies will be taken care of with this warm bed. So this is what a feeling of empathy is. Mostly will be in a position to have sympathy over the babies and the mothers giving birth. But that is the only point of empathy would have led to these innovations. Only if we feel the pain of a mother, we would be in a position to have a better child, give them a better child for them. So with this, many women, many mothers had their newborn child, happy family was there. So this is an innovation, and this could be an example for empathy. So these are happening near us in Bangalore. So a person from abroad is who have a patient and who felt the pain of a mother. So that's where we are. So this is how a design thinking, this is how an empathy would be a bigger chance for design thinking. So now this is with this, I move to the next stage, defining. So once we had a better feeling, so we will be moving on to the next stage of the thing. So we need to define. So what is the thing? So we have addressed or we have found out this could be a problem. So while sitting in our room, we can't say like this is this problem will be addressed. Once I am in Erode, while surfing or while seeing the news, I could see the pain of what the people from Tuticorin are doing. So why is so specially Tuticorin is? Tuticorin is land of salt. So there they process and finally they get the salt. So I thought, why can't we make some machineries for them, and why can't we have a machine so that is what they are doing is they are having a pond kind of thing, and in that pond kind of thing they are naturally getting on, and that pond they are naturally making this salt. Like have leveler so that it would be making a leveling, because these levelers are seen in our rice mills and all, where for drying up the husk and the rices. So why can't it be? So I started designing. Okay, literally I started designing a structure so that it will be more helpful for them. So then I moved in. Anyway, I thought like, so before making some more I need some more clarification. I started moving to Tuticorin, so to talk with the people. I was in a position like, guys, you don't worry, I will be making a machine so that it will be more aided for you to make a leveling process. People started saying like, if you are in a position to make a machine, then you are killing the lives of so much people who are dependent on it. I was really astonished. They were not in a position to get an automation because this is their livelihood. They need something else. So this is where I stop and I move to the next phase. Define. So only when we move on to a person, or only when we move on to a scenario, and once we get exposed to that scenario, we can really define what they need exactly. So likewise, on seeing this, we feel empathy, because we had like now we have seen about empathy. So like we are so much blessed, and we are fortunate enough. We have multiple chances of getting water, and we are like we have water in our home. It is we have pipe connections, and so we are really blessed. So we think of all these people. So they are in a position to take water from somewhere. So what we think is like, why can't the government will be helping them to get water? But in in Maharashtra, this is a place in Maharashtra where the underground water cannot be reached. So there is no other solution for them. Then came our Neel Kamal company with Vello wheel water wheel. So what is the thing is like, all these school going kids, they need to fetch water from some kilometers, and they need to make they need to get water, and then only they can move on to the next their schoolings, so that their studies would be of greater in a question mark, right? So what Neel Kamal, they have designed a product called Vello, which was given by an NGO. So here, yes, there won't be any impact of for carrying the water. So it will be like the whole village will be getting benefited with it. So they haven't changed anything, just they have introduced a concept, introduced an innovation. And that innovation, which is like a 4 persons carrying water over it, can be taken with a single Vello. So it is around 20 to 40 kgs of water which could be taken. So 40 liters of water which could be taken. So this wheel kind of thing, this is aided for moving any terrains. So it is easy for them to pull or push. So in whatever sense it could be. So this is what a necessity, and this is what a customer requirement is predominant. And those customer requirement will be taken care by this define. So now, how we need to define? So how we need to gather this customer requirement? Either in need of making a startup, or in process of making a innovation, finally anywhere, finally need to publish a paper or whatever the thing. The main thing is problem statement, and that problem statement is defined. So this is basically done by two kind of thing. One is primary research and another one is secondary research. Most of us will be more concentrated towards the secondary research, because it is easy for us, right? while surfing our Google, we could get all the things like online research. We could get from the scholar. We'll be able to get the literature reviews, and in the literature review, we'll be having some case studies. So these are all are not an important. Maybe they are the secondary kind of thing. What is the primary kind of thing is? It is the field visit. It is the interaction with the people to whom we are in a position to catering the need. So it starts with surveys and polls. It moves with an interview, maybe an one-on-one interview, or we can have a focus group and we can make some interview to them. And from that, we need to make an observation. Whether these things will be aiding to us, they may not be aiding to our solution, because we might have some solution in our mind and then only we will be moving on. But it is not a scenario, right? Actually, without any judgment or without anything, we are just moving on to the people and we are taking polls. So there won't be any structured format. So this is how a format of data collection will be. This is how. So we need to categorize in what manner we are segregating, and in these segregating, what are the possible problems that could be faced. So what are the possible customer requirements we can say. This will never give any solution. Just we have understood what the people needed. So with this defined, it has an unstructured thing. We have an outcome in this format. What is the real problem and what could be a successful outcome? Who are the customers that those are affected? What benefits are the customers looking for? What solutions might solve that? So these are the hypotheses. So these are the things which we need to define. So here, where once we are doing our research in maybe in our research also, we will be having the similar kind of thing. We will be having a problem. We will be identifying a problem. And in relation to that problem, we will be making a literature review. So from a primary research, we will be moving on to a literature review. And from that literature review, we will be making possible things to do. So finally, we will be demanding with a problem statement, and that problem statement will be our objective. So problem statement, and that is what objective is. So here what we are saying is the hypothesis. So these are the problems, and these may have multiple solutions. Many people are there. So why can't we do it? So I could see in a scenario like in Smart India Hackathon, there was a problem statement put forth by government of Jharkhand, where they were mentioning like we need a solution for irrigation. That irrigation, that the motor should be running through solar power. Fortunately, in down south, we have these solar powered motors and the things like these things, solar powered water irrigation, and even if we have implemented IoT kind of things. So people as a junk word like IoT, so Internet of Things, we are implementing all these things. But in Jharkhand, the people were in a position they don't have that facility. They are asking for some solution for it. So the problems are different, and these problems will be varied. So this is where defining a problem and understanding the problem statement based on the requirement of the customer is predominant. And here we fulfill the hypothesis. That is we haven't gone through any finalized. We have thought of some hypothesis. We haven't put forth any theorems. We are just thinking of hypothesis. So this is how an outcome of this defined will be. So now we have defined. Now we have empathized. We have defined the problem statement. And once we have defined the problem statement, the next process is we need to ideate. So at the end of the definition defined, we'll be having the pain points of the customer, what exactly the customer need. As we seen in the past scenario, like having quality rooms while we travel. So it is a pain point. We need to book the bus at a moment, or while sitting in a single place. We need not to travel anywhere. We just need to book a bus. So red bus. So these are the pain points that were identified. And after these pain points are identified, then only we are moving into the solution as ideating. So the ideating scenario, what is an ideation relevant to? It is the pain point which to be addressed. A pain point, once we fell down, so we'll be having like some wound is on our leg. So here it is like bleeding at some point. Maybe here we have mentioned like a knee is bleeding. So the pain point is the knee is bleeding. Solution, I could have a band-aid. I could have a cotton bandage, or I could have some like a cloth to wipe. So these are the solutions. So which solution will be ideally suiting our pain point? So this is where we need to ideate. This is what we need to ideate. So this ideation, whether we need to have some judgment, no, I will be moving only with the bandage. If we are moving, that is what a judgment is. So what we had done, we had made a judgment like I will be having a bandage and I'll be using it. But it is not a scenario. There can be multiple scenarios. Maybe a chance the bandage won't be available nearby. We'll be having a cotton cloth alone with us. So the ideations vary. The solutions for a problem will be vary. So pain points versus solution will be vary. So now this ideation, how they could be. In the morning session, SARS were saying about brainstorming. So what is a brainstorming session is? It is not with me. I need to ask the people around me to get some ideas. Ideas about what is the product, what do you have to do, what is the important for users. So these are the things I need to get from them. So these are the brainstorming sessions for the solutions. People from IIT Madras, mostly they will be saying like we get most of the ideas and most of the solutions we could get only from two places, maybe mainly from the mess hall, because there is an interdisciplinary people of different disciplines. They will be coming to have their food, and they will be interacting with each other, where the ideas will be getting switched over, and there a brainstorming session will be carrying over, and that's where they will be making into a successful kind of thing. So here we haven't made any judgment. We are just asking what are the things. Once I was in a position, maybe for the Smart India Hackathon, I was making a dustbin. So this is what the requirement is. A dustbin is to be made, and that dustbin should be having like having a QR code scanner. So it is like I need to put the trash in the dustbin, and that dustbin as per the weight of the trash, there should be a coupon code. So this is what the problem statement was given to me in Smart India Hackathon. So I was doing my project. So that project I had made a simple kind of structure, a simple dustbin I have made with a load cell at the bottom, so that at whatever time I will be placing a trash inside it, it will be recognizing the weight of the trash, and it will be giving a coupon code. Like if I am trashing like 100 grams, then I will be having a coupon code for 2 rupees. If it is for 1 kg, it will be like 10 rupees or 100 rupees. So this is what a coupon code is given. One of my students suddenly came, he took a stone, he put it in. I have technically found out what are the things. So I have a load cell with me. I have a QR code generator for coupon. So all the things I have made, but he had taken a stone and he has put. I was really shocked. Then came, so that's where an idea will be. So these are the problems. These are the problems that will be addressed only when we are brainstorming. Will be simple kind of problems, but they also have their own impact. Really, they will be having their impact. He asked me, like, sir, if we put a stone in it, the stone is 1 kg. For a stone, you will be getting 100 rupees as a coupon. Is it valid? My total project is it's a dump, right? So the things like next, what he asked, like, sir, okay, it is not necessary, like I need to put some solid waste. I have a half drunk Pepsi can. If I am putting it into it, what it will be doing? My load cell will be getting off, right? It won't. My load cell won't be working properly because of electrical connections. Once I put a liquid kind of waste, it will be thrown off. So now a problem statement has been defined, and without any judgment, maybe I have started with a judgment like this only could be a better solution. But even the people around us with a simple change or simple kind of things, they will be mocking our project or product. So we need to brainstorm and we need to have what are the bad options, what are the bad opinion they are taking off. So we need to consider all these things and we need to finally find out what could be the better solution. So this is where an ideate and how this is how an ideate will be. So for the similar kind of problems, for the similar kind of users, benefit, features, the same hypothesis. So we have defined a problem statement and that problem statement have been converted into a structurized one right now. So it is structurized, but I don't know which one to carry over in the initial stage. I have a structure, right? So I have made it in an ascending order or a descending order. Whether this ascending and descending order will be in the same position or giving me a same result. So it can't be. So then we move on to next design thinking process. So here we have structurized, and here we need to know what are the things which will be mostly affecting. So again, we need to structure and we need to prioritize. So the final thing will be like a prototyping. So once you ideate, so it has to be made into a prototype. So in between ideation and prototyping for a design thinking process, maybe here we can make some technical illusions, but actually this technical illusion is an illusion either. It is not about a technical thing. At the end, a prototype will be a technical part. But before this, we'll be having like a proof of concept. So with this, I am prioritizing the values. So prioritizing what are the things I have identified as a problem, what are the possible solutions, and what the users have needed. So I have identified what is the core research or core part I need to take in. So this is where in most of our, while we are writing multiple proposals to funding agencies, the funding agency will be asking two kind of things. One is like, what is your core research? What is your core problem statement? And how this problem statement has been addressed in national level and international level. So you will be making multiple options of literature review and those kind of thing. And finally, you will be coming into ideating the thing. And finally, you will be making a prototype kind of structure. So for this, I will be making my project a successful one. So this is where we need to do. So here what we have identified is which is our core and what are the core ideas that can be forwarded, and how it will be benefiting the people, and what are the futures that I need to convert. So what are the futures that I need to have in my prototyping kind of thing. So once I have these futures, then only I will be moving on to my experimentation. Without knowing what are the futures I need to have, I need to incorporate, moving on to experimentation is the total waste of time and total waste of money. That is where we are lacking in most of the chances. And the experimentation has multiple opportunity. It will be taken. Okay, being mechanical engineer, we could take like I need to have a gate, and that gate has to be opened 90 degrees. So I will be obviously you're thinking of what could be the scenario. So like whether I could have a motor kind of thing. A motor, it is so simple that I have let me have a stepper kind of motor, or a servo motor, or a DC motor, and that motor can rotate 90 degrees. So I can easily control that 90-degree rotation, and after a 90-degree rotation, I can stop that gate. So what will be the cost of the motor? It will be around 1,000 rupees. The total worth of the project will be around 1,000 rupees. But what we think is like the 1,000 rupees is sufficient for making the project. But the product will be incorporating all the phases, like your time, your working knowledge, your remuneration for you, and remuneration for your labor, for your students, travel, even a petrol bill. So all these things will be accommodated here. So for that, what we need to do? So we need, if the total cost of the product is like 1,000 rupees, then we have to make it like 200 or 500, within 500 rupees, so that the other things will be there will be a profit margin for us. So these are the assumptions. So like, what are the things I can do? So whether I could have a stepper motor, or I could have a mechanism. So mechanical engineer, in your second year of study, we will be moving with the kinematics of machines, wherein we will be talking about slider crank mechanisms, 4-bar mechanisms, and kind of things. With a single linear actuation, we can convert into a 90-degree rotation with a 100 rupee, with a single 100 rupee linear actuator. So my project cost has been reduced, right? So this is where a prototyping has its own impact. So this is where an experimentation has its impact. So what are the riskiest assumptions that we have to make? So we need to, again, we are not structurizing now. We are throwing lights over all the assumptions on all the possible outcomes that we could do, all the possible experimentations we could do. So once we have done all these things, so what is the minimal effort we could take in making a prototype? In a normal academic institution, what students will be doing is, once we give a project, or once we give a problem statement to them, they will be taking their effort in making that project, or some project. What they will be doing is, they will be taking all the scrap materials from the scraps, they will be building, and what are the things they can do? They do all the things, and finally they will be giving a project, or finally completing a project. But once it is converted into a product, all these things will be mattering. We can take the things from scrap, we can make it a prototype, but these scraps should be available for final product for us. So that is also an assumption that we have to take in account. I have a single stepper motor with me, and that stepper motor can be used for opening a gate. Once my product gets successful, I am in a position to get the stepper motor, and I need to have a supplier. So I need to know whether the stepper motor is supplied by a person nearby, or else the transportation, whether if I am in a position to import from neighbor countries, then I need to pay customs. So these things also will be incorporated over my product. So these prototyping cost will also be incorporated over product. So while prototyping, I need to decide what are the possible assumptions we need to take. So this is where an experimentation. So finally, an outcome of a prototype is these are the riskiest assessment from n number of options I am taking. These are the riskiest assumptions that can reduce the product cost. Now we can move into the prototyping. So prototype can be done with the basic scraps, with a view of, with a vision of getting the products or getting the suppliers or getting the components from the suppliers. So I need to prove my concept, whether it will be working or not. So that is the proof of concept. From there, we have moved into the prototype. So now we have made a prototype. And that prototype, what we have done is, it is working well in our laboratory. This is what we called as a minimum viable product, MVP. So I have succeeded in my proof of concept. I have made it as a prototype, and that prototype is converted into an MVP, that is a minimum viable product, and which is ready for market. I am testing it in my lab intended location. So I am experimenting it with multiple chances, and this is where next stage moves in. It is the testing. So once a prototype is built, so the prototype, whether it needs to be built up in a physical model or it can be simulated. So that is where an ideation needs to be. I need to, what kind of material I need to do. It doesn't have any physical strength. It doesn't require any physical strength. It is not dynamic. It is a static member. Then why I need to invest so much money in having a steel or a mild steel there? Why I need to have a cast iron base there? So this is where a prototyping will be. So this is how, after this prototyping, we move on to the testing phase. Whether my assumptions were exactly moving on with the theme of the project or theme of the product. So testing, I have again, what are the smallest thing we can do to the test. As I said, I was in a position to complete my project. Maybe it is a prototype, and that prototype was tested in-house. So I am asking all the persons to throw litter in it. Once we were having a symposium in our department, so what we had is like we had all the teacups were thrown in, the load cell totally damaged. And again, my student, what he made thrown a stone in it. So the total core of the problem is also lost. So what are the smallest thing that we can do to test that? So this is where testing needs its impact. So it started with empathy, feel, and then it moved on to design. So define. From this define, we have moved to ideation, that is solution. From that, we are making a minimal product, that is MVP, which is like a prototype. And that from there, an MVP, and that MVP is tested. So here we have a laboratory kind of thing, which is what basic requirement in whatever scenario you could take. Either you need to have a proposal. Yes, this is the basic scenario. You need to have a paper. Yes, this will be a basic scenario. This is what we have worked on. This is the base for an innovation. This is how an innovation will be happening. We have tested these assumptions. We have taken all the prototype and we have taken all the assumptions. We have made a prototype, and that prototype is also made into a minimum viable product. Now, this innovation have some point in invention. Now you can patent your project. Now you can patent your product. The patent can be a design patent. So this is where the final stage, once you complete this testing till now, your final core project and product will be in your hand. This is the start. Will it be ending at this position? No, never. Every innovation has a chance of scalability. So the scaling factor. In our older, in past decades, we had a speaker with us, and we had a headset with us, and we had like a headset, big kind of headset. Then we had like an in-ear headset, and now we have like a in-ear headset, a single piece that that will be functioning for all the things. So this is where the scalability will be a point. So with this exposure, I'll be moving into some of the projects, some of my innovation to commercialization, and some of my innovation into national and international level competitions, and some innovations that led to converting into a journal paper in maybe SCI index, science citation indexed paper from elsewhere. So that also I could move in. So this is where I start. So as they were giving an introduction to me, they gave like have established a lab, Nidhi Praya's lab, in our technology business incubator at Kongu Engineering College campus. So here we got a 7 crore funding from Government of India, DST. So wherein we were in a position to have 1 crore amount for equipment procurement, another 1 crore like a yearly 20 lakhs for 5-year tenure. So we'll be getting for consumable kind of thing. So remaining 5 crores every year, 1 crore for 10, maximum of 10 entrepreneurs, maybe minimum of 10 entrepreneurs with 10, maximum of 10 lakhs each. That could be given as a grant. So this is what the scheme is. So we started. So we started with working. We thought of getting what are the possible prototyping equipments that we could procure. So we thought of 3D printing equipment. So 3D printing machine. We moved to CNC router for because the prototyping is mainly based with plastics and wood. We don't have mild steel and steel to have a complete product. So we have moved with that one. Then what we have done is like a 3D printer. Then we moved with a CNC router, a laser engraver, and kind of thing for 1 crore. So finally PCB milling machines and those kind of things for prototyping options and all. We had made a chance. Surprisingly, I could see like CNC routers were around 7 lakhs or something. What is the work of a CNC router? Is the main work is like it has to make engravings over wood. Why I need to invest 7 lakhs over there? So most of the things were from abroad, so they need to be imported. So with that, we started with a low-cost CNC wood router. We designed, we fabricated in-house, and that was presented in as a smart CNC that which we had submitted to Mitsubishi Electric Cup in 2018, wherein the same thing was like business model was made in IIT Madras in E-Summit, and again International Robotics Summit, where we got like overall best innovative product. It has just started from lab establishment, in a process of establishing a lab. I was so keen, like what is more thing about wood router. So even Erode, Coimbatore, and likewise near about in Kerala, most of the places we have like wood routers, need for wood routers. That is like we need to have the engravings over the doors. So we have this is what we need to. This is what a wood router will be doing. It has XYZ coordinate. It will be having a spindle with 27,000 RPM and 30,000 RPM. It will be rotating. It will be creating a neat engravings over door. So this is the base for our project, which we started. So what are the market ready product we could see? We have multiple options, which were ranging all these things, all these cost. So we thought of inquiring the people regarding how whether it is that impact that it has that impact over customers. Surprisingly, most of the industries were micro and small scale industries. They were not in a position to give or spend this kind of amount, this much amount in a single machine. Establishing an MSME, they need at least they needed 10 to 15 lakhs for a single router and for setting up a system. So then we moved on to the customers. What is their actual requirement? We thought of. We moved in, and as per the surveys, what are the things we could find out. So first thing is like, sir, same quality based on technical kind of thing. Same quality cannot be achieved. Operator is a big problem here. So operator's skill set is definitely a big theme. For our surprise, we could find one thing, like many instances, the workers tried to fraudulent by designing a job without the knowledge of owners. Because for a CNC router application, that we haven't thought of. This could be a problem we had never have thought in that form. Once while we are moving in, having a customer scenario, he was like, what we had is like, we had a discussion and he was saying like, sir, I will be going to lunch by 12:30 p.m. and I will be returning back to 2 p.m. Till now, I don't know whether my machine is running or not. I have a CNC machine. I have like this machine cost around 5-6 lakhs. So what I could do for a single design, single routing operation, it will be around 2,000 to 3,000. Really, the customer requirement is different. So that's where we thought like, so without the knowledge of owners, we got like it is a scenario. So we took that into a chance. So our CNC router, low cost CNC router, should address all the problems. So we decided it. So which we had made like a mishandling of tool, work zero. So everything is taken into account. With that, so we defined, and the final outcome of define is our objective. So we need to have an economically affordable, robust and connected CNC wood router machine. Why it is robust? It should be it is a robust one. It should be a robust one. It should be connected, because without the knowledge of a owner, the machine should not be switched on or off. There should be physical safety. There should be an authentication access, and it should be like a remote monitoring and control option should also be there. With this objective, we started our ideation, and what are the final, maybe with this we started our design, and here we need to make ideations. So what are the possible kind of thing we need to do? So we moved on. So for that ideations and for next level prototyping, we need all these things to be known. We formulated a team. It started with a person with the mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and again a person to work with controller. Unsurprisingly, all were my students. So we formulated a team with a different skill set. So now, what are the concepts we need to do? So we have dealt with the product architecture. So this is where an ideation. So whatever possible thing we can do, we put it in. So based on the requirement, I have made all the chances, all the possible chances. Whatever kind of process we could say, whatever kind of material we could take. What are the tool selection? What are the tooling parameters? technically affordable. Okay, what are the things we need to do? So what are the modules we need to have? What are the sensors we need to have? Everything we have taken into a product architecture. So these will be addressing the need of the customer. With this, we have made a configuration design. So what are the actual scenario or actual things that are to be needed? So with this configuration design, maybe this is a prototype or it is a product. So we are making it as a single thing. We have made a prototype, simple thing with the wood. But later it has to be converted into a product. It is the direct requirement. So then we started with what are the actual requirement as a product. So how a sequence to be forecast. So now what we have ideated from the ideation phase and without prior to prototyping, we have made all the designs, all the design phases. What are the possible solutions we have taken into account? We have right now, we are techno-economically, we have made it. So then the freehand sketch, this is how a design should be. This is how this is like we have multiple options. It is like whether we can have a cantilever kind of thing, whether we can have a bridge type kind of structure, whether the tool, whether the structure has to be moved, whether the table has to be moved, which movement, which one to be moved is which movement will be easier one. So how much axis of movement we need? Is there any requirement for a rotational axis? So basic freehand sketch, this will be the base for all innovations, sir. This is the base. So once we start, this is the creativity. This is where we have to start. And this creativity will be leading to an innovation. And that innovation will be leading to an invention. So here a mechanical design. So here finally we have done our prototyping kind of thing. Maybe we have made a structure, we have simulated it, how much it is, what kind of material that could be taken care of, whether I need to move on with I need to move with mild steel, or I need to have a cast iron base. Where and all I could have a cast iron base. Why a cast iron is used? A cast iron is for it is like a vibration absorber. So I need to, whether I need to use a cast iron totally, or I need to have at places. A final CAD design, and that CAD is converted into an analysis part. So simulation work, everything we have taken care. So how it will be? It is like a displacement, whether you need the structure is rigid or not. In a dynamical scenario, it is like what are the materials we are using. So all these materials, at what places, what kind of material we need to use. So how a model, what are the different, being a dynamic analysis, what are the different frequency versus model, how all these things will be having. So with this base, we have made a material selection. So once a material selection is made, we have finalized these are the materials that are to be used, and based on all these things, we have made a detailed design of a structure. With this detailed design, mechanically we have made. So we need to make what are the electrical design we need to. So this is where an electrical design. So either need to control signals. Again, we have made a control design. And with this, what are the different, so with the control design, what are the next thing we need to do? Now we have a mechanical design with us. We have an electrical design with us. We have finally a control design with us. Now we need to incorporate. Once we go into a product, the main thing is like our requirement or custom made, or to be custom made. They won't be available. So we need to know the standardization. So the standardization is like what are the kind of basic screws and fasteners, what are we going to use? So all these things we need to understand and we need to take care of. So these are the prototyping and custom made structures into our product. And finally, we had a product in this format, prototype. And again, finally, it is a product. It is a prototype because we are having these kind of mechanisms at some different places. We had many difficulty in using this, but our concept is made exact. So here we are using an aluminum base, aluminum profile, and with this, all these things, we are just using a cast iron base. You could see a cast iron base here and a rubber beading here, so that this will be this is enough for total making this dynamic structure stable. So with this, we have made some test phasing. We are optimizing the process parameters. We have made multiple chances. This is where a testing will be a good deal. This is how a testing will need to be done. Yet testing, what is it like? Every testing will be having some final outcome. We will be getting many, what to say? We'll be getting like multiple avenues for our research again. So once we have done this, why can't we reduce a vibration from in this part? What could be the vibration here? So it will be a different kind of study. So this will be moving into a different kind of research work. So finally a testing and finally optimizing a process parameter. How on a process parameter? So what are the parameters that we need to consider for testing? Nominal, for ease of understanding, I am using, like for a milling operation, there are 3 process parameters that is predominant. One is speed, and another one is depth of cut. We will be optimizing these 3 things. This is a typical study, right? So we have designed our product, and the product is now in a position to analyze. And that analysis phase, we are finalizing the product. What are the optimizing the process parameters for different kind of things. So this is how a final prototype will be in the form of a minimum viable product. So this machine is catering the needs of my innovation center. And again, in my project lab, the students are finally using this machine for making minimal kind of operations, for maybe for aesthetic kind of use they are using. So here the total machine cost is around 75,000. which our management, engineering, our Kongu Engineering College management, which is too generous in giving us the amount, spending the amount, and they have procured the machine, and the machine is in our lab. So this is how an innovation will be converted into a product. This is where a commercialization will be a starting point. So with this, we have made a commercialization. Once we are in an international, maybe in an international summit, as I mentioned earlier, robotic summit, we could have like customers from multiple tenure venture, where one customer had a machine which doesn't have a maintenance people. The machine is obsolete. On seeing our machine, he saw like, why can't you make our machine that custom made in the same in Chennai? So we had a customer. So till now, what we are doing is we are in a position to giving maintenance AMC for them. So the machine is totally converted, and the final machine is still running in a position. So this is where a project will be leading us to. So finally, the bill of materials. So for thing, so final highlights of our components is like, it has an optimized material, mechanical structure, selection of materials, power usage, live and remote monitoring, performance matrix, limited power consumption. And again, there is no investment for energy policy because it has commercial current. So need to have a more keen towards power factor. Once my student was designing a machine, or a structure was designed, I asked him how much power will be it may be consuming. So what are the components you are using and how much power it will be consuming? Simply he said like 1.5 kilowatts. Consider 1.5 kilowatts per hour. So the commercial cost, commercial It will be moving to a greater extent, right? So if a machine, Tamil ஒன்னு சொல்லணும்னா யானையை வச்சு தீனி போடுற மாதிரி. So we will be more concentrated towards building a machine or procuring a machine. But what is the consumable? How it will be? So that we won't be dealing with. So these are the things which are to be which are to be made in ideation phase itself. So this is one product which we have commercialized finally. Next is like a COVID-19 scenario, which had made multiple innovators, multiple entrepreneurs, many switchovers. So it has most positive and negative kind of thing. So the positive kind of thing which we had is like making a mechanism. So how it was. So as per the recommendation from the World Health Organization, it is like a temperature need to be checked, wearing of mask in apt manner, hand sanitization, washing hands at regular intervals, maintaining workplace social distancing. So these are the recommendations by WHO. But there is a sad truth is whether we are maintaining all these things, whether all are is that the monitoring is done exact. I could say a scenario like in our college, we were in a position, maybe in our college, we at evening time while walking through our passing by my college, I could see my security personnel. He was checking temperature over me. It showed as 80 degrees centigrade. I was shocked actually. 80 degrees centigrade, how is it possible? I asked him whether you were checking in this. Yes, sir. He said like, yes, sir, we were checking in the same sense. From morning, everyone it is showing only 80 degrees. Really shocked once again. How come everyone have the same temperature? Then I took that gun, that temperature gun, thermal gun, and I was seeing that it was in there is a mode like it is set in ambient temperature mode. So from morning till evening, they have scanned. Maybe it is one Sunday, God's grace. No, maximum people were not moving, passing by. But if it is a scenario while working on working days, there is a bigger risk, right? So it is not. It was everywhere. A similar kind, like most of the people in different now the time of Diwali, most of the people we move on to purchasing. I could see like all the people were moving in the market area for purchasing. It is like full crowded there. Corona has big chance for it. So with these, having these in mind, we started up with a project. So this was an empathetical situation where all the security personnel are at risk, and there are many manual errors. So what are the things we could deal with? So this is what idea which we have proposed. Automated wash bin, scanning the ID card so that mask detection, temperature monitoring, hand sanitization, baggage disinfection, wearing, entering and inside the workplace disposal. Finally, so from the start till the end, whatever chances we could take, we have ideated. And this is where a conceptual flow was. I'm running short of time, so I'm rushing. So this is where a proof of concept which we have developed.
This is a prototype. They are for utilizing COVID with fully automated IoT based.
So this is a prototype which was made with thermocol and again basic wood, small. Totally it costed around 10,000 or something, because we have incorporated multiple cameras and different kind of controllers we have incorporated with it. So it costed around 10,000. So we have made it. So this is what a proof of concept is. Then what we have done is this proof of concept is given to exposed to a customer. So as per the requirement of WHO, in the scenario of opening the academic institution, we have made a proof of concept, and that proof of concept cannot commercialized directly by an academic institution. So either we need to have in a form of a startup, or we need to have a knowledge transfer. So what initial initiative we took is like, why can't we take a knowledge transfer? So we have identified a customer, that is a person who has have a chance of investing on our product. We had made an interaction with them. So next is like our prototype, he was giving many inputs that we haven't thought of. Many inputs that we haven't thought of. He said like, okay, your prototype is good, sir, but how will you informing the people that you have to do all these things? Again, shocked. So an innovation with our product, we have made a voiceover. Okay, if it is like whether the total system will be sanitized or not, then only we thought, oh God, people will be entering in with, so they need to be. So whether sanitizing is like, sanitization is required. But what happened is, we were in the position, from our college, we have made 4 disinfectant tunnel during the month of April, and we have kept in Erode district for 4 different places, which was opened by our honorable ministers. So it had a disinfectant fluid flowing through. But what happened is, due to as per the recommendation by ICMR, the things disinfectant tunnel has no chance for it should not be used on people because of many chances that people get irritations over the skin. So this is what they had made. So without disinfectant tunnel, what are the other chances while entering? So we had made a final prototype in this format. So this prototype we had this is what we have made it, and here what we have testing it. So here we could see a base structure. So here a face should be face mask should be detected. So temperature should be monitored, and once the temperature is monitored, a person can be entering into a scenario, entering into the concern. So the attendance is also taken. The temperature of the person will be monitored throughout. Because being an employee or being a student, his temperature will be recorded daily in a day-to-day basis. So if there is any deviations, then again chance of making it in a different chance. If there is any, because what happens is daily basis the people are taking a temperature, but it is not recorded anywhere. So but it has to be recorded. So this is what next chance we have taken. So these were taken from from our customer requirement. So again we have developed an app. So this app is social distancer app, wherein so I'm not moving it. So if 2 persons, here it is enabled with our smartphone. If 2 persons are coming to nearby, this app will be intimating them to move on. So this is what an app which you have done it. So it is like Bluetooth alone, easy to understand. So I'm running through it. So it is like simple touch. So history of contacts and to near about to whom and all we have made a contact. So this will be given here. So even an employee, there will be a maintained distance will be maintained. So with this, next is like final prototype. So here we had a bigger deal. So initial prototype, what we have done is we have used an infrared sensors. Those infrared sensors were working superb in our laboratory. Once I took that sensor and once I took that machine and came to a entrance, there was a big problem facing us. That is infrared sensor. It is not sensing properly. Total system got locked. So here where the prototyping has its chance. So now we need to make alterations. So redefining the problem. So now what we have done is like we are thought, we are being an innovator. I have started working with it. I have moved in. So I know how I can make it. So here we have, so if I am not wearing a mask, it won't be saying, it won't be letting me into a concern. So once I am wearing a mask alone, there is temperature will be nominated. So here we have a gate. So once all these things are done, I will be moving in. So I thought of like, why can't a security personnel from our college, why can't he be tested? So I asked him. So this is how a customer feedback will be a greater chance. He said like, sir, I couldn't understand what are the things. This may be for you. So again, I need to make a graphical user interface that will be influencing the person who are illiterate too. So that is my final product, and that will be outcome. And here the intended location where we have what we have made at our institution, and this is what we have checked with different kind of personals, and different feedbacks were gathered, and these feedbacks were still in a phase of incorporating. Likewise, what we have done for this COVID-19. So this is what I am mentioning earlier. So for persons who are traveling, who are moving in with a disinfectant tunnel, so there is like point of itching and kind of thing due to the liquid which we are using. And then we had our innovation towards having a mask, N95 mask. Why this has started? It has started from Salem Government Hospital, their requirement, and Mr. Veeramani, if I'm right, what he has done is like N95 masks are use and throw. Once after you are using, it won't be used again and again. If you are using again and again, then it will be like making you suffocating. So what we thought is, why can't we make it in a plastic? So here the plastic chances, which kind of plastic we need to have. So all these things were designed. We have 3D printed. We have made a prototype. And again, this is for N95 mask, and the base we have like M19 mask. And this M19 mask we have like a laser engraver, and again we have with the laser engraver, with the acrylic sheet, and with the MDF sheet. So we have made this M19 mask, which is used by our frontline workers, and we have given to the government hospitals. So these were the major themes we are doing. See, these were the innovations. Finally, what? So I need to make some more impact. So this is a machine, that is a coconut cutter machine, which is a product which was commercialized. This is how we will be having the first phase. The first thing, these are the coconut, ripe coconut, which we will be got from the farmland. Second is all the coconut will be ripened off, the top layer will be ripened off, and it will be in this format. This is the coconut which we are having, and this coconut will be cut off. So bisected into two, and once bisected, the inner flesh will be taken, and that is used for oil extraction. So surprisingly, from farmer, from here, the total process till here, that is for removing the மட்டை உரிக்கிறதுல இருந்து கடைசியா உள்ள இருக்கிற அந்த பருப்பு எடுக்கிற வரைக்கும், the total cost is around 1 rupee. I was very glad, so I thought of making a machine for converting from starting till the end. Okay, great. So I thought of was having a great passion towards it, so I made it. I was making a machine, but for my for my surprise, I could understand that for this one, it is 20 paise. For a single coconut for this 1 rupee, right? For this one, it is 20 paise. Sorry, this is around 30 paise. For cutting it, it is 50 paise. And finally, for this one, it is 20 paise. So totally it cost around 1 rupee. Why we need to make all these things? It is not needed, right? We are in a position we can just minimize our cost. So in that way, we have made a machine that would be helping the farmers to cut alone. So the 50 paise cost will be reduced. Again, you could see like some of the coconut which were in smaller size, that won't be easy for us to cut and won't be easy for us to take away the total outer body. So it should have been cut in this format. So we had a machine totally. So we have reduced the total 50 paise. If it is like 1 lakh coconut, so 50 paise, it cost around 50,000 rupees, right? My total machine is around 25,000. What is the power factor? So I'm using 20 watts. So finally, so these are the things which deal to innovation, to commercialization, and innovations that can be that consultancy projects, that can be that product, that can be. So these are the things. Finally, so end of the day, we are all faculty. We need our own point of focusing towards our journal publications and so. So based on these customer requirement, we have designed, we have made a concept of product with the basic engineering tools for customer requirement, which mostly in the forthcoming sessions you will be dealing with. So this also will be leading you to higher level impact journals. So it is a 4.5 impact factor journals and all. So with this, so some of the innovations which we have attended and where we got some awards. So with this, I end up my presentation, and I'm opening up for a questionnaire session.
So thank you for your wonderful presentation, sir.
So thank
So
you.
really, it is a great time with you. You have shared many slides which is related to the example-oriented session. So
Sure.
definitely we have enjoyed, and even the many participants also giving some positive feedback. The session
Great,
is
sir.
excellent, innovations. So now the session is open for the participant. If you have any questions, you can ask our resource person, Dr. Praveen Kumar. So in case if you feel any difficulty, you can post your question in the chat box.
So any queries on you?
Oh, sorry. One second. Now you can unmute yourselves. Participants can unmute themselves. No?
Now we can interact with our speaker.
Hello, Dr. Praveen.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Please.
Good afternoon. This is Professor Nikhil from Maharashtra.
Great, sir.
It's indeed a very good presentation, and I appreciate your efforts that you have taken in your institute.
Thank you, sir.
You actually showed us how the design thinking can be commercialized.
Sure,
So
sir.
thank you for that. I just wanted to know, are you available on LinkedIn?
Yes, sir. Actually, I haven't updated so far, so we will be in a position to update sooner.
Yeah.
It is
So,
Praveen Kumar Subramanian is my name, and mostly I will be there, sir.
It will be good if you share your contact details with us so that in future I'll be connected with you, because I am representing an incubation center which is supported by DST and MITI.
Oh, great,
So,
great, great. Okay.
so I'll require your guidance for the same. So if you just share your details in the chat box
Sure,
about
sir.
your contact details, so it will be good.
Sir, let me share it, sir. Actually, I'm typing it now, so we'll share
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I have shared my contact details and my mail ID in chat box.
Yes, sir. Received. Received. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So any question from the participant side?
Sir, this is Krishna Raj from SRM University, sir. Could you hear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. In fact, we don't have any question. Only we would like to appreciate you, sir. In fact, it is highly informative session. And now we could even guess that a lot of students must have got benefited out of you, that you are so practical in nature and you are creating entrepreneur, especially to solve our employment problem.
Yes,
So
sir.
we will invite you for our startup session discussion, sir, incubation center discussion.
Sure, sir.
And quite happy to see such a very young and very efficient professor with a very good, that is a practical mindset. So we appreciate the organizer for having arranged such a wonderful, excellent speaker. So we compliment to every one of you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very
Good
much.
day.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. This is Gurpreet from Delhi.
Good evening, ma'am.
So, sir, thank you for the awesome presentation. I really loved the way you connected the dots between all the processes with practical examples, and in the end, you showed how you have implemented it in your own institute. So, many congratulations and kudos for the kudos to the team for organizing such a session. I just have one query, sir. So these ATAL FDP sessions have been opened for CBSE teachers also now, and I am representing one such institute.
Okay.
So how can we, in the schools also, promote these kind of activities? I know there is a lot of funding being given to the IITs and the technical institutions by the government, but nothing of this sort is being done in the school sector per se. So how can we connect that industry or probably the technical institution with our school is one thing which I really want to work on. So if you have any thoughts on that, I would be happy to hear those thoughts.
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, actually, like the government of India has put forth the theme like Atal Tinkering Labs, especially for schools. So most of the schools are getting the getting amount sanctioned around 20 lakhs, I think so, for that tinkering labs, so that they can establish the tinkering labs, and from the school level itself, the students will be exposed towards it. And likewise, the people are government of India has also opened up higher education institutions, like the faculty from higher education institutions are mentor of change for schools, for the schools which got the Atal Tinkering Labs. So what is like they are bridging the gap between higher education institutions and the school level, so that it will be like higher education institution is a gap, is a bridge between the entrepreneurs, that is between the corporate, and it will be a bridge towards the school, so that you can establish a linkage towards
Yes, sir. I am aware of Atal Tinkering Labs concept, and what I have noticed is it's mostly given to government schools or maybe DAVs and KVs. So I just wanted to clarify that doubt. Probably it's a doubt from my side. Maybe I'm not clear about the process. So maybe it is open for private schools also, but I've not seen good private schools getting it. So it is probably a lack from the private school side. So I think I should encourage the schools which I at least can influence to kind of get into that. Thank you so much for the answer, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And one second for adding to you a question, like the first school which like I was a mentor of change and which got this tinkering lab is a private school and a matriculation school. And it is the first school in Erode district, in our district, Tamil Nadu, in Erode district. That is my own district. So now I am mentor of change for another school also. So that could
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that answer. And I will definitely get in touch with you to take this forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more queries, sir?
Okay, sir. So anyway, if you have any question, you can post the question to the mentioned email, praveenkumar.mts@kongu.edu. And he also shared his contact number 638260-340. So thank you, sir. Thank you to all the participants who have spent your time with the weekend. It's quite difficult.
Sure.
Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the day one session. So I once again remind to all the participants, you have to fill the feedback form which is posted in the chat box. So feedback is very essential and mandatory for getting the e-certificate. So thank you all.
So Tyagarajan sir, could you hear me?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it possible for me to get the video? This.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are recorded the session. We will share you, sir. Definitely.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.